Born with an entrepreneurial spoon, Siddhant has redefined leadership at a whole different level with the aim of disrupting the water space with technology innovation. He created Andromeda Maritime Solutions to be a platform to solve the primary concerns for the whole water ecosystem. As an orator, learner, and motivator, Siddhant brings on board the precise expertise of quality of implementation, team building, and believes in the fact of great teams building great products and great products building better enterprises. For starters, Siddhant has registered the following accolades in his name: built the national robotics team facilitated by the Ministry of MSME at the Indian Institute of Science, which escalated to become the present-day Andromeda. Led, led the International Society of Automation as the vice president and organized networking events to brainstorm with the best brains in the industry, facilitating innovation and collaborations. Featured in the MSME Book of Projects for two of his projects in the water field as the most innovative in the country. Some more feathers to the cap. He is an honorary member to the International Water Association. He is an ecosystem expert and national entrepreneurship development coach at Business Charcha, certified valuation expert, business innovation expert, and youngest vice president at Prava. He is also the youngest entrepreneur awarded at the Distinguished Alumni Conference held in Bangalore, Karnataka. So Siddhant, I have a few questions for you today.
Sure.
So the first is, what first got you interested in robotics?
It all started in 2014 when I was at Bangalore RV College of Engineering, and there were a lot of different technical clubs in my college, and few of them catered to development of all-terrain vehicles for road. Few of them catered to development of drones and vehicles for air. So I thought that what particular thing is lagging in which we do not have a technical club. So that was the initial fascination, and that is where I looked at water to be one of those things where I could try and bring in some technology. So so my interest towards working in water and robotics started from 2015 with the establishment of a technical club called as Team Hydra. So that was the initial story.
Okay, and I understand you went to the Indian Institute of Science. How was your experience there?
Yeah, we got inducted at Indian Institute of Sciences Center of Excellence, and it's one of those places where science takes and the experience was unparalleled with any other thing which I would ever experience in this lifetime. So it has taught me what has led me to the present day, what I am, and what will also make what I will be tomorrow. So Indian Institute of Sciences experience cannot be expressed in words. It was simply amazing. And I got to learn a whole lot of things which I'm implementing in my business today.
Okay, and well, with your qualification, you could have taken any job at any robotics company in the world. Why did you choose to start your own company from your club?
So I got inducted at IISc right in the second year of my engineering, and the way I was, taken forward in my project development for water robot, my professors and my mentors at IISc were very confident that if at all I launch my own firm, it would definitely be able to benefit people in the longer run. So rather than joining an already existing robotic firm, I chose to launch something of my own. And that was the initial motivation given to me by my parents and my professors.
Okay, and how did you first start the company?
So the roots or the seeds, I should say, were already sown with the launch of the technical team called as Team Hydra back in my college. And starting of the company was difficult, but it went very easy when the initial partners were the one who were there in Team Hydra as founding members in my college. So my college mates became the directors of the company, and that is how the start of the company happened.
So being familiar with each other helped a lot.
A lot. So rather than getting those people who have a lot of skill sets on your board, getting those people whom you have a lot of confidence on helped me a lot to start the company.
Okay, and what does the name Andromeda mean? Is there any reason you named your company after it?
Yeah, so many people ask me this question very often. Andromeda has two different meanings. One, Andromeda was considered as one of the most beautiful, women, even more beautiful than the daughter of the sea god. And also Andromeda is name of one of the galaxies. So I wanted to work towards water, and since Andromeda was more beautiful than the daughter of sea god, we just thought that we'll try and keep the name of our company on similar lines. And this is the consideration as per Greek mythology. So we were looking at different names which creates beauty in pronunciation, and that is where we reached this particular conclusion that Andromeda is what we are going to keep. So if at all you see at the spelling of Andromeda, it is Andromeda, but we have added an extra I in Andromeda, and there is where we say that Andromeda made intelligent. So intelligent is for the robots. So that is how beautiful things which belong to sea and intelligent at the same time. That is what Andromeda means.
Okay, so interesting story. And
Yeah.
so you said earlier that you were sure you wanted to go into underwater robots. Any reason why you were sure about going into underwater robots in general?
Yeah, every innovation should have a cause, and since I got initially motivated to work for water just for the sake of getting a technical club in, eventually when I went into the depths, I realized that sustainability is very important, and that's what people are talking about. Even from UN to a local level assembly, people talk about sustainable development goals and all those measures in order to save the environment. So a lot of initiatives people have already taken towards working for air, working for trees, working for different things. But water was something which was close to my heart since starting. And even more than 2/3 of our body is water, more than 70% of the earth is water. So I thought that there will be scope if at all I try to take water as my career goal, as my business goal, as my identity. So that's what motivated me to work for water, and also my background from my college and IISc to induce technology in water. So that's where we met a sweet point.
Okay. So because water was neglected and untapped, it made
Exactly.
a great idea to go. Okay. And when you first started your company, robotics wasn't very consolidated. So was the industry very welcoming? Did you get a good initial response?
To be very true, when you belong to a research background and then you commercialize that particular research to help people and to contribute something to the society, it is our responsibility to keep up to the purity of the word. So when I talk about a robot, every other thing whichever exists beside us is or may not be a robot. So the way industry has been treating their customers or their consumers, uh, that was not satisfying the purity of the word robotics. So for example, we buy a hand massaging machine, and on that hand massaging machine's box, you get a hand massaging robot written. So it may be just a machine, but is presented as a robot. Whereas it was my responsibility to present the purity of robotics to people. And that's why it took us some time. And even we used to get in a lot of debates very often, because uh, to set to create a distinction in between drone, robot, it is very important that we keep in mind the technological aspects of where it is coming from. So the industry was indeed welcoming, because robotics is another godly coined term which is gonna take on the innovation cycle for another 25 years. But the penetration to the depths of what we want is still to be achieved. So we might have done just 1 by 1,000 of what we want to do. So that's the thing.
Okay, so robotics is obviously very close to your heart. So according to you, what differentiates a robot from a machine? Its ability to think or perform multiple actions, what differentiates?
Basically, there are a lot of differentiating factors when you try to back engineer from use case. So if at all I tell you that I have to build a machine which has to follow a particular line. So for example, I draw a 1 meter orange color line, and I tell you that from starting of this line to end of this line, you have to go and then take a turn. So I am just telling my machine that you have to go straight 1 meter and take a turn. If at all I have to categorize based on what kind of turn that particular equipment is taking, that is what I would term as a robot. So for example, when I go straight, I accelerate in the starting, and then the moment I am about to reach the end point, I decrease my speed or decelerate and stop at that particular point where I have to take that turn. I stop, move on the same plane, and then go right and take a turn. Now, this particular thing is not a robot. Now, what is a robot is this. When I go straight and the moment I am approaching my endpoint, I change my plane and take a turn even before I reach the endpoint, in order to decrease and save on the time and efforts. So the way a robot behaves or thinks to a particular command that is being given by the programmer, that is what differentiates it from other machines. This is what we have seen in terms of use case. If at all I have given a wrong command and I have been training my machine. So for example, uh, I have trained my machine for identifying fruit image from 1,000 vegetable images that I show it one by one. So 1, 2, 3. Uh, it might be possible that I go wrong in identifying a fruit in between 1,000 vegetable images flashing in front of me one after another every second. But my machine should be able to identify that particular fruit image once I have trained it well. So now after 1,000, if 1,000 first image I show it as a fruit, then it shouldn't say that from 1 to 1,000, 997th image was fruit, so I'm going to term it as fruit. It should say that this particular image in its color, in its shape is like a fruit. That's why I'm terming it as a fruit. So ability to make decision is what differentiates a drone from a robot or a machine from a robot.
Okay, very interesting. Another question I had on the entrepreneurial aspect is, are there any challenges you faced in your company?
Operation wise, there are always challenges, because when you are into a hard product, you look beyond a lot of things. It's not simply a software that you have to create and do work online. It's a lot of work, talking to vendors, getting the unit, getting the assembly done. So operational and challenges were there. There are always challenges in managing the psychology of team. So since startup, it is very important that you understand psychology of different kinds of people working with you. So even I was learning and I'm gradually learning. So even that was one of the challenges, but yeah, we were able to sail through it, eventually.
Okay, that's great to hear. Um, so according to you, what's the future of robots?
Down the line, on the innovation cycle for 25 years from now, robots are the one which are going to lead the industry. And there are three particular things which we need to keep in mind. One is healthcare, second is hygiene, and third is nutrition. So if at all you are in any of these three businesses, you need to induct newer technologies in order to, turn the situation and your consumers in your favor. So that's pretty important because world is moving towards digitalization, and robotics is going to be the one which is going to evolve as a service. So initially, you were buying hardwares, people were buying furniture for their home. Now they are renting it from sites like Rentomojo. In the same way, the evolution of robotics, not uh, only as a hardware machine, but also as a service, is going to evolve very soon. So you are not only going to use a software as a service, but a robot as a service. And that is going to be the future of robotics.
Okay, and in the future, will robots ever be affordable enough to be a household product you'll see everywhere?
uh, it's still it has started to become very affordable, because once I tell you the overall cost of a robot, which is in lakhs, and then I tell you that the kind of problem that it is going to solve for you for the particular time at which you need it is going to be in some thousands. So that is where robotics has already become affordable, because once you do an innovation and it's not affordable, I don't think so that it's an innovation for the good, for the good of people, but just to, claim some sort of a limelight and identity and all those things. So robotics, if treated as an innovation, has to be affordable and has to be benefiting to the consumers. So it is certainly going to be affordable if it's from the roots of innovation.
Okay. And lastly, do you have any tips for any young entrepreneurs hoping to get into robotics?
So one of the initiatives that we are launching at Andromeda as another vertical is going to be a learning site, which is a application which is just termed as an Udemy for AI, ML, and robotics. So artificial intelligence, machine learning, and robotics. So for young innovators, it's very important that you choose the right mentor for you, who would lead and sow the seeds for your robotic career thereon. Because there is a lot of delusion when we talk about the word robotics, but there are few people who understand it to the roots, and I think we need to find those right people. uh, Truly speaking, the moment we bring this initiative, we would also reach out to schools and colleges and look forth and make sure that people are getting the purity of education when they talk about robotics. So choose your right mentor, and he is going to sail you through. That's what I can say, because I got the right mentor at the right time.
Okay, so a mentor is very important. Is
Uh,
that true only for robotics or any industry?
I think that's for any industry, because the kind of benefits that we can have in today's society is uh, benefiting from the experience, because there will always be some person who will be having great experience in the domain in which you are trying to create your future in. And finding that right person would definitely help you remove a lot of roadblocks. So in any industry, this point is valid. So in robotics, so for any other industry.
Okay, thank you, Suzanne. That's all. It's been a pleasure talking to you today.
Thank you so much, Ishan. It's a pleasure talking to you as well.